Yo, what's up, guys? Coming at you guys today straight from Medellin, Colombia. So, I want to talk to you guys today about how to find a place to rent abroad. Okay, so first things first, a little bit about myself. My only experience in finding a place abroad is here in South America. So, if you're looking to move to South America, specifically, then you'll definitely want to listen to this because I will be able to give you boots on the ground experience, okay? And so, first things first, guys, when you are trying to find a place to stay in South America, the obvious, you're going to need to know a little bit of Spanish, unless you're in Brazil, in which case you'll need to know a little bit of Portuguese. And when I say a little bit, it's really not that much, guys. It's just the basics, like I want a room, or yo quiero una habitación, okay? Or if you want to make sure that they have hot water, so incluye agua caliente. Really basic Spanish, okay? And so that's the first thing you're going to be able to do is just brush up on your basic Spanish skills. Make sure you know just the basics. However, that's not going to be worth anything until you are able to actually find the apartment that you want to stay at. And sometimes that can be the hardest part of the journey, okay? And so, like I've said, I've only been doing this for about 6 months now, but I feel like I'm starting to get a handle on how to find a great deal anywhere I go, at least here in South America, on an apartment. Okay, and so I'm going to share with you guys today a little bit about how I do that, okay? And so I actually just spent all day today doing this exact same thing, and so let me tell you a little bit about how it works and how you can find a good deal, okay? So if you've seen some of my other videos, you might have noticed that you can get, for example, an apartment for as low as about $115 a month. Okay, that's pretty typical. Anywhere that I've gone here in South America, you can find one bedroom apartment and $115 a month. Okay, however, this time around when I was doing it, I decided I wanted to have cable and have fast Wi-Fi and have nice hot water, and so I actually went a little bit off the deep end and actually spent $200 this month on my apartment. So a little bit more expensive. However, if you're like myself and you're coming from a place like Colorado, for example, when I was in Colorado, I wasn't able to find a place for anything less than $750 a month. Okay, so coming from that to South America, where I can now get an apartment for $115 to $250 a month, it's a great deal, guys. And so that's what we're going to talk about, how to specifically do that, okay? And so, first things first, don't book anything online, okay? Don't search on Craigslist, don't search on Facebook, because odds are, here in South America, anything that you find online is going to be at least double what you could pay if you were just to show up in person, okay? Remember that. Don't search anything online. Don't buy anything online. Go there, show up in person, and ask the price in person. Otherwise, they will double the price, okay? Just telling you that from personal experience. However, what I typically do, I'll just show up in the city. For example, 2 days ago, I came here to Medellin. I didn't have an apartment. I didn't even have a place to stay, guys. I got here at 10 o'clock at night. And then one might say, hey, that's crazy. You shouldn't do that. You can get mugged, Medellin, Pablo Escobar. But guys, it's really actually as safe here as it is in the United States, okay? A lot of the bad stereotypes are just that, okay? They're really not as true as you'd like to think, okay? And so, like I said, typically I'll come into the city with nothing, no plans, nothing. I don't even know where I'm going. And the first thing I'll do, typically, is because I'm trying to get a good deal, the first thing I'll do is I'll go to a hostel, okay? And so typically at a hostel in South America, you can either get a private room, or typically what travelers do, people like myself, is they'll get what's called a dormitorio, or it's a shared room. So you might share the room with, for example, 4 people from France. That's what I did yesterday, or just random people. And so that's probably not something you're going to want to do long term, because you don't want to have to be looking out for your stuff all the time and locking up your cash and always looking behind your back to make sure nobody's taking your stuff, right? So you probably want a private room, right? So that's why typically what I will do is I will just get a hostel for about one night, and then that next day I'll be busting my butt walking around the city trying to find somewhere to go. And so it's really not that difficult. You'll find signs anywhere, in any city that I've gone. The only way that I've actually found a place to rent is just by walking down the street and seeing signs saying, "Hey, it's for rent," or say "Alquiler." I can't even pronounce the Spanish. I'm pretty gringo myself, guys. Just laying that out there. You can be a complete gringo and still be able to get good deals on your apartments. Okay, and so like I said, typically what I'll do, night number one, I will go to a hostel. Typically a hostel is about $5 to $7 a night. So that's a really good deal, right? It's like a meal in the United States. So that's a place to stay for one night. And so that next day, I will be busting my butt, walking around, and typically the hostel or wherever I'm staying, they'll watch my stuff. That way I don't have to be carrying my 2 backpacks around all day while I'm trying to find a place to rent. Okay? But that really is the way to do it, guys. You don't want to search anything online because, like I said, the price will be double. Just trust me on that, okay? And then you just literally walk around, ask the locals. The locals know the area way better than you did, or way better than you do, excuse me. And so, for example, today, when I was walking around, I walked into a hostel. I wasn't actually planning on renting at that hostel, but I was going to ask them, how much it costs, maybe buy some water or something there just to talk and really just hear what the locals have to say, just tell you where to go, okay? And so, in my example today, when I showed up at that hostel, I ended up meeting somebody who spoke really good English. And he actually pulled out a map of Medellin, and he showed me all the best places to go for the cheapest prices, and so score. And so the only problem then is that I had to actually walk around all those different neighborhoods and find the best deal that I could, okay? And so what I did today, for example, is I just walked up to apartment buildings and asked them if they had any extra space. If they said no, then I asked, where should I go? Okay, because if they don't have it, they probably also know where you can go, and they're more than willing to talk price with you and say, oh yeah, you can get a room over there for this price. Okay, so it's really simple. And to summarize, guys, I don't want to make this video too long, because I know it's a really simple question. Don't do anything online. Don't book anything online unless you're really, really, really worried, because you can't just be like myself, show up in the city at 10 p.m. and find a place to stay and be able to find a place to rent the next day, okay? But if you want to be a budget traveler like myself, you do not want to work online, okay? And then secondly, just walk around, look for the signs, start asking people, ask what their price is. Don't go for the first one. And definitely know your budget too, and know the prices. Like I said, in South America, you shouldn't pay anything over. I went off the deep end this month, and I'm paying $225. I forget the exact exchange rate. It's 750,000 in Colombian pesos. I don't know exactly what that is in dollars. Roughly about $200. Okay. So yeah, just walk around. It's really that simple, guys. Okay, and don't stress about it. And you'll be able to find a place to stay the day of anywhere in the world, or at least here in South America, and get a good deal on it, okay? So I hope that answers the question. And as always, guys, feel free to reach out to me. Feel free to clarify what I'm saying on this video, and I'd love to hear from you guys. Peace.